Welcome everybody. Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, good to hear, good to hear. And everybody else, anyone else have? Can I get thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways? Nah, little better. Okay, well we can do with that. This is our gonna be one of our integration sessions. It's our first session. And again, I just want to thank everybody for showing up and being so present for our medicine session this last Friday. And walking away from that, we were given instructions to stay open to the changes that we'd like to make and look for those different ways of trying to further and integrate the kind of things that we experienced and things that came up along the way. Um, so I would love to get into that tonight and go around and let everyone share from our group here, as we've kind of titled ourselves the Breakfast Club, even though we're meeting at night. It's interesting. But before we do that, I just want to go over some of our confidentiality rules. Remember, what's said in here stays in here. And I know a lot of us are kind of strangers, so we feel a little bit both open and weird at the same time of sharing some of these really intimate things. But just be mindful that, you know, they're the trust here is kind of built by all of us, and it takes just one of us to kind of really throw that into question. So I really ask that you, even if you're trying to recap some of the experiences to your friends, try to leave some of these other people, other group members' stories out of it, and even if you change their name, it's still kind of an invasion of that privacy. So honor and respect those things, and try to keep the area isolated, or at least to a minimum. People to know that that you're in a session right now and you're actually dealing with some really important information that might not be wanting to be shared with every single group member here, or by every group member here. Be respectful, one person speaking at a time. We've been pretty good about that, so I'm not too worried about that. But is everyone good on that again? Yeah, I know. Some of these, I see Allison. I see you rolling your eyes in the middle here, and Claire too. And Brian, how are you doing, Brian? You doing a little all right, Brian? You seem a little, yeah. Okay, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But the first thing I like to do is just start with our opening meditation here. So if everyone just wants to find a comfortable position, find a place where they can kind of, you know, settle their eyes, and if you would like to just unfocus your gaze or close your eyes, that's fine. I want you to feel connected to where you're at right now. Feel rooted, safe, comfortable, right there in your seat. Once you're settled, you can turn off your camera too, just if I didn't say that. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale for a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4. 2, 3, 4. Try to keep your breathing at this pace nice and slow. As you inhale, you can continue breathing. Imagine that you're breathing in calmness. You're breathing in peace. You're breathing in strength. As you exhale, imagine that you're breathing out all your anxiety. Breathe out all your stress. Breathe out all your worry. There's nothing for you to worry about right here, right now, in this present moment. All there is to do in this moment is breathe. Just feel your anxiety slip away with each exhale. If your mind drifts to feel worry, be mindful. Notice it without judgment. Then bring your attention back to the breath. Just in for 4. And then out for 4. You are strong, and you can handle anything life throws at you. Just notice that you feel calm as you sit and breathe. And of course, we probably would have done something a little longer, But for the sake of this, you can open your eyes and everyone feel a little more grounded, a little more settled. Okay. So I know we shared a little bit this last Saturday about our experiences, but I think things were still a little fresh. So as you've had time to kind of process some of these things, um, I will encourage you guys to share now. Um, so, would anyone like to go first? Okay, Andrew, our our neighborhood athletic wrestler here. So yeah, yeah, the floor is yours. Oh yeah, wow. Hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, you mentioned battling a dragon last time, but I don't think you gave us the full. Can you kind of flesh out a little bit more for the rest of the group to kind of get a kind of taste of what you're talking about? Hmm. And and when that happened, were you? Can you kind of like clue us into how you were feeling in that moment? Were you the dragon? Were you battling dragon? Oh, so you were like observing it. You weren't even like a part of this whole thing. So you were like a third person observer, right? So yeah, and remember as we talked about, some of these out of body experiences can happen when we're on these types of medicines, right? Especially with ketamine. So you had this kind of floating above your whole body right there. Okay, got it. And then were you so you weren't frightened? How did you feel when this all was happening? Hmm. So curious. Okay. So you. Hmm. No. Yeah. Does anyone else have any thoughts? Hmm. Do you, how do you feel about what you just heard from Allison, Andrew? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And this kind of reminds us of some of your affirmations, right? Where if it ended in a draw, between this dragon um, and the fighter, this mentality that you said you were trying to like really address here, which is I always have to win. I always need to be the best. I can't just be normal. Right? How do you think that kind of incorporates, or how do you think that compares to what maybe what you kind of witnessed here? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think. Would you be willing to tell us a little bit more about your relationship with him? Hmm. Thank you for sharing that, Andrew. So, in some ways, this dragon character might have been your father. Yeah. And this feeling that you always have to win. How do you think that kind of played out with them both destroying each other? Hmm. I can't tell you I can't tell you what it means. Remember, like my job's not to tell you what it means, but to help you explore what it could mean for you, right? What could it mean? Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Does anyone else have any thoughts for Andrew? Thank you again, Andrew, for sharing that. That was beautiful. Right, and remember again, like as we process these things, new information will come up, and sometimes we're so close to like the event as it happened, as the weeks progress. And remember, we still have a lot of neuroplasticity at like um, sometimes even up to 2 weeks, maybe longer. There's different studies that say different things, and we mean those next 48 to 72 hours are really important to really trying to be open to those changes and really be conscious and make those intentionality or intentional choices. But um, things will still come up. So as we continue this process with our next few medicine sessions, how do you feel about where it was right there? The dosage. Do you think it was a little bit much with that? Huh. Yeah. We might. Hmm. We'll have to consult with our psychiatrist. Couldn't make it today, but maybe we'll consult with them and we'll see how they feel about it. But I think maybe your dose would be good to as where it is right now. Um, okay, but anybody else? Anyone else have wanna like to share? Bender, would you like to go? No. Hmm. Okay. I just asked because I think I think a lot of the group was hoping that maybe, or maybe I'll ask it. Just has anyone would anyone like to hear from Bender? Brian, yeah, you like? Can you tell me more? Maybe even tell Bender. So Bender, how does that feel? Hearing that it feels a little distance from you because since you're the one of the ones that didn't share on Saturday, if you'd be willing to do that today. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, I would just like to offer that when you're ready to share, we're here. But again, like no, I'm not gonna force you to talk, But I think we'd really like to hear anything you have to contribute, and it seems like the experience moved you in a meaningful way from um, the way you were um, reacting to the medicine during the medicine session. So um, just I wanted to throw that out there for you whenever you're ready. Yeah, Claire, go ahead. Yeah. But, tell us a little bit more about your experience. I remember you said it was kind of freeing, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so you were having so okay. Hmm. Right. And so this is kind of what we were talking about kind of in the opening stages of our prep sessions about being aware that um what we call like that liminal space, which is that um the time from when you have your medicine session to when you actually have to go back to work and like jump back in your routine. That space is like sacred space that you should really try to use. And it sounds like you had to get right back to work, huh? So how was that? Was that sounds like it was kind of tense and kind of frustrating that you couldn't enjoy that time a little more. Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be super, yeah, super frustrating. Yeah. Hmm. Did anyone else have this kind of same problem? Andrew, yeah, you too. Brian, yeah. Okay, okay. So, um, without getting too specific for you, just you, Claire. I mean, I'll throw this out to the room again. It's the longer that we can kind of create a bubble around ourselves after our next session, um, theoretically, the better. And what that really gives us is an opportunity to really fully embody and embrace the things that kind of occurred, and also be able to integrate a little bit better the choices we want to do make without feeling pressure to have to get back to the patterns, right? And so maybe, um, again, like I don't know your own financial situations, and you have to make the decision that works best for each of y'all. But one option may be to take the next Monday off, right? So we can have our medicine session on Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday. You guys can reflect on it for the next one. I mean, it'd be an option, and you don't have to do it every time. Maybe just try it this time, this next time, if that's something that you'd be open to. But um, yeah, so I'm sensing from you, Claire, there was a little tension about like really enjoying the session, and then that Sunday, and then feeling the dread of like, okay, it's a Sunday night now. I got to do the homework and or my school homework and do all that stuff, and now I got to get back to the real world, right? Yeah, and that's again what ketamine does is we kind of went over again in our prep sessions, but it's good to just reiterate is that it it's non-ordinary states of consciousness that really breaks you from your routine, right? And so one way of looking at that is dissociation, which is it separates you from your normal ego state. But what really does is that your default mode, your default, excuse me, language I speak this language, your default mode network, right, which is kind of the way that your ego keeps track of everything, it gets tuned down, right? And so everything like that, usually that's the thing that's in charge of like rumination, which people with like I guess like you were saying, Claire, you struggle with social anxiety and anxiety in general, but social anxiety especially. And so it tunes that down, and so it seems like for a minute you were able to kind of relax. Were you? Can you talk us through that experience? I know things were kind of really fresh, but can you kind of recount some of the things that you experienced during during the medicine session? Okay. Yeah. So like in contrast to, and again, like this is like the interesting thing about each unique, there's as many different experiences on this substance or this medicine as there are people. So Andrew, you had this um, fantastical storyline driven battle royale with this dragon, right? Even though you weren't even part of it, you're just watching it from like the bird's eye view. And Claire, it sounds like you just had not really visuals, but you just had like a feeling of peace. Yeah. And like no pain in your body, euphoria. Wow, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, right? Yeah. And what was one of your affirmations? That's right. That was right. Shine. Hmm. Is there a pressure to shine? Do you feel? Because I know you came in with this feeling of social anxiety and having to be this person in front of all these different, you know, friendship groups and friendship, individuals. Hmm. So I'm getting a sense that it's kind of both. So you have this natural essence in you that wants to shine, but you also feel this tension of having to shine. Hmm. So what do you think happened was, I mean, I know your default mode network turned down and you kind of had a break from it, but like, how has it been different? Think of like the Sunday when you were still in that liminal space. What was different about that time as opposed to the others? Hmm. Yeah, wow. Your whole focus was different, right? You weren't on trying to get this person to think this. You were thinking about how I can just be this. Yeah. Wow. Does anyone else have anything to add to that? Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, you can definitely relate to that. I'm seeing a lot of head nods. I think a lot of people can relate to what you're talking about here, Claire. This feeling between doing and being, right? We're often taught to be human doings, right, rather than human beings. Even though we don't talk that way, when we call it like I'm what do you do for a living is who you are, right? But for a minute, it's kind of broke you from that pattern. You're no longer ruminating on like, my value comes from this, my value comes from that, how they see me. You kind of had a break from that, huh? And so tell me about what you did when, yeah, oh wow, you're in nature? Because you said, hmm, fascinating. You said you don't, huh? So maybe you do like nature. Yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe you like both. Maybe you like your Prada bags and the city and this kind of upscale imagery, and maybe there's part of you that would like to explore something else, something different, something that wasn't forced upon you. I don't know. What do you think? Hmm. Yeah. Wow. And so, how do you think you can um, keep incorporating these things in the next few weeks, especially as we get to gear up for our next session? Yeah. So, I mean, we did talk about maybe taking a little time off of work afterwards, but it sounds like being more open to doing new things that also might interest you would be something that you'd want to do to keep getting some motivation, getting some momentum. Yeah, like the nature walks. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for sharing, Claire. Allison, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you've been a little quiet today, huh? What's going on? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is the tough part. Because like like we went over, there are, and we touched on this on Saturday too, when you had um your non-experience. There are certain individuals that are fast metabolizers, which you know you give them a high dose and nothing really happens. And so um, there's this faith in the work that we do that no matter what you hoped to get out of a session or out of a journey, you get what you needed out of it. And there might be something worth exploring here about this feeling of being able to overcome the disappointment of not actually having that experience. Yeah. And I would also caution you to think that you got nothing from it, because remember, the neuroplastic properties are still happening. Like, so you're just because there has been the research that documented, like, not everyone that has those psychological feelings of flying through the universe or the mystical experiences. Not everyone has those psychological aspects, even though there is evidence to suggest that becomes a little bit more potent with those. You still get changes in your brain from like the encouragement of neuroplasticity. And so to still be intentional about what you're doing and what you focus on in the next few days afterwards, even if it doesn't feel it. I do think we're gonna have to keep it in mind that you might be a and this is something too to also be aware of. I know you'd mentioned that you really couldn't go without caffeine in the morning. I'm gonna ask for this next session that we do our best to limit even more, so that um, your caffeine intake in the morning. And I know it's not going to be easy, but I really ask that. I think it'll be beneficial for you to get a closer touch, perhaps. And it might not happen, but if we can get you that experience, and I think we're going to up your dosage. I'll talk with psychiatrists as well. Because yeah, you came out of it. I mean, you never really went into it, so we might have to make adjustments on that front. Yeah, yeah. And I just hope that you know I have hope that this next session will be more psychologically meaningful for you. Um, but You did mention a little bit feeling of euphoric, and my hope is that whatever this lesson is, that we can find a way to integrate it at some point down the future, right? And again, just to keep in mind that the benefits of the medicine can happen even if you don't have that experience. So um, I'm really hopeful, and we'll see. We have 2 more medicine sessions, so before we start burning boats, let's definitely keep an open mind and keep the faith here. Yeah, yeah. Brian, you've been also pretty quiet today. Can you slow? Okay. Slow down. You okay? All right. Well, again, so this just kind of juxtaposes the vast differences of the experiences with this one medicine, depending on who you are and what the method of injection is. And for you, you weren't on this planet. Okay, so but it was you though, so you weren't dissociated. You were flying through the cosmos. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Wow. Hmm. Huh. I'm sensing a little bit of attention in you as well. It sounds like you really enjoy the experience, but it also sounds like something like what if does anyone else sense anything? Mm. Mm. Wow. So this was like the opposite thing that happened for you, which is it was almost too good, and now normal life by comparison seems mundane. Hmm. Wow. And so this is something that we should be mindful of as we move forward, because one of our, I mean, as you shared with the group in our one of our prep sessions, you have historically struggled with addiction, right? And so, um, ketamine is a substance that has been known to be abused, and um, you know, you didn't have any active symptoms at the time, and you weren't being dependent on a drug or any substance at the time. But this might be a good opportunity for you to kind of observe that relationship of what you're experiencing right now, right? Because okay, so the experience itself was something unique and beautiful, and I think we can use that. But where you're at right now, how do you think that might relate to your substance issue? Huh? Yeah. And what's that? What do you think that need is? That like I want to be there again. I want to feel that again. What do you think that is? Hmm. That you don't feel complete. Hmm. Yeah, empty. That's a great word. Not a great feeling, but I'm sure. Can anyone else relate to what Brian's talking about right now? Feeling lost, overlooked, empty. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Claire, please, if you have something to say. Wow. Yeah, Brian, how do you take what Claire just kind of offered to you there? Hmm. Are you used to getting feedback on these sort of things? Hmm. Yeah. I wonder. I wonder if sometimes the reason we don't get feedback the way we hope for is that we don't let others know that we're feeling a certain way. Hmm. Well, it looks like we're about out of time here today. Let's do a quick little check-in. Everyone, Andrew, good. Allison, Bender, okay. Hmm. Keep me posted, Bender. Claire, good. Brian, yeah, I'm glad you all are here and thank you for coming today. Um, just to let everyone know, remember um, to be, let's just try to be there a little bit early. I know some of us had some time trouble parking or finding parking and being dropped off at the last medicine session. Um, bring your water bottles, bring your any totems that you have and things that have meaning for you. If you like your own eye mask, bring those. But I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday and everybody. Um, oh, I would like to end the day, as always, with a poem. This one's by Langston Hughes. It's called Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. Alright, it's a little cheesy. Okay. Alright, you guys have a good night. Alright, I'll see you guys Saturday. Alright, take care.